Kevin, thank you. Let's bring in the founder and executive director at the National Security Institute, Jamil Jaffer, and former FBI Special Agent Stuart Kaplan. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Jamil, to you first. It sounds like we've got a 21-year-old guy who really was just trying to impress his friends, but I also get the feeling that he knew he was putting American lives in jeopardy. Your thoughts?
Well, I think you're exactly right, Trace. The problem is that when Jack Teixeira just made the decision to send out these classified documents, first summarizing them and then sending out actual pictures of them, he knew that in his group of 25, 13 to 20-year-olds, were a number of Russian, Ukrainian nationals. So he knew he was transmitting this information to people not only didn't have access to it, but to foreign nationals as well. That's a huge problem. It's going to cause him real trouble when he goes to trial on these charges.
And it sounds to her like as soon as they figured out the outlet and where this stuff was coming from, the rest was pretty easy. Is that a fair assessment?
That is. I mean, given an espionage investigation, a national security investigation, the investigative tools that are available to the FBI, they in and of themselves are classified. This was a layup for the FBI to be able to zero in on him, and it was just a matter of time for them to apprehend the individual responsible for publishing these documents.
Yeah. Here's the House Intel Chair, Mike Turner. Watch.
It is espionage against the United States. And regardless of their motivation, the end result is always the same. It benefits our adversaries. And it certainly makes it more difficult for the United States to do its work.
Yeah, the administration's kind of playing this down, Jamil, but this does benefit our adversaries. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, look, this information gave the Russians tactical information about what's going on in the Ukraine battlefield, our assessment of those things. That's hugely valuable to them. And it undermines our relationship with our allies, showing what we know about what they're doing and showing some unflattering images of our allies. The other thing that's important to remember is that while, this guy, Jack Teixeira, is going to face a stiff sentence, there's history of us convicting people of this kind of espionage and releasing documents. Chelsea Manning's a great example. And then the president essentially commuting that 35-year sentence to just 7 years. That sends exactly the wrong message when we do things like that.
Yeah, former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman really, Stuart, was asking the same question that I and a lot of others were asking today. Listen to him and I'll get your response.
I don't understand, honestly, how a cyber transport systems journeyman, that's his official title, in the military, in the Air Force, in the Air Force Guard, how that enables him to see super top secret intelligence on Mossad, on Egypt, on the war in Ukraine to the extent that he did.
Was he looking in a place that he should not have been looking in, Stuart?
I just think that our policing of our national security documents and classified documents is an absolute shambles. I think there's a zero effort to oversee and police this. I think this is a perfect case of just a relaxed environment where not necessarily a need-to-know basis is the critical component, but these documents are just left around. Even if you had an opportunity to view these documents, you still need to articulate a need to know. And of course, the marshaling and safeguarding of these documents should have been first and foremost. What I'm curious to see is if Chris Wray, the director of the FBI, is going to prove his objectivity to do a thorough and complete investigation to uncover finally the lack of accountability in this administration to police our national security.
Yeah, that is a very big question. Stuart Kaplan, Jamil Jaffer, gentlemen, thank you both.
My pleasure.
Trace.